Hello and welcome to Higher Maths, Functions and Graphs. Today we're going to look at sets and functions, and in particular the domain and the range of a function. Well, first of all, we need to have a quick look at sets. So a set is a collection of objects, usually numbers. So for example, S equals, now notice we're using curly brackets here guys, 5, 6, 7, 8, close bracket. So that is just a set of numbers, a group of numbers that include the numbers 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we just list the objects or the numbers inside the set, inside the curly brackets. So the members of the set are also called the elements. So elements are members. So the members of S are 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if 7 is an element of S, we would write it like this. 4 is not an element of S, we would write 4 is not an element of S. And we've also got subsets, which is just a group of numbers that are a member of the original set. So the empty set is the set with no elements. So it's just denoted with a blank there. Notice we wouldn't write 0 because 0 is actually a number. So the standard sets that we have, so we have the natural numbers, or in other words, accounting numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Notice ... means that sequence or pattern continues. We have the integers, that's the positive and negative whole numbers. So ... -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, comma, ... Got the rational numbers, which are numbers that can be written as fractions as a fraction of integers. So for example, a third, -1 third. Also the whole numbers are in there. So -4, 0.25 is a quarter. And then we've got the real numbers. So all points on the number line. So that is our rational numbers and also our irrational numbers. So we've got numbers like √2 and pi in there as well. So essentially every number you're aware of are the real numbers. Okay, there's also something called complex numbers that you learn about it in advanced higher. If you choose to go on and study that, you may already have come across imaginary numbers. So they are basically complex numbers. But as far as higher maths is concerned, we don't really look at imaginary numbers. So n is a subset of z. So the natural numbers are a subset of the integers, and they are a subset of the rational numbers, and the rational numbers are a subset of the real numbers. So example, list all the numbers in the set P, where x is an element of n. So the natural numbers, so just looking at the counting numbers where x is larger than 1 but also less than 5. So all the natural numbers between 1 and 5, not including 1 and 5 because it's greater than 1 and less than 5, so that'd be 2, 3, and 4. Right, a function relates a set of inputs to a set of outputs with each input related to exactly one output. So we've looked at function notation at National 5. So here's an example of one. F of x equals x squared plus 1. So we'd square x and add 1, and that would give us the output. So that would give us the value for f of x. So the input numbers, so the values that x can take, that is referred to as the domain. The output numbers, the values that f of x or y can take, are referred to as the range. So x, the values of x are the domain, the values of f of x or y are the range. So we can have a restriction on the domain, and I'll look at that in a separate video. So I've introduced sets there, so I'll do a separate video looking at the domain and the range.